What is contract management? Contracts are the foundation of every business relationship with customers, suppliers, and partners. Yet many organizations manage them poorly, leaving value on the table and exposing themselves to unnecessary risk. In the next few minutes, we will explore contract lifecycle management and how disciplined CLM practices protect organizations and maximize contract value. Let's get started. Contract management is the process of systematically and efficiently managing contract creation, execution, and analysis to maximize performance and minimize risk throughout the contract lifecycle. Contract management spans the full lifecycle from pre-award planning through post-award performance and renewal. Contract creation establishes the terms that will govern the entire business relationship. Clear scope definitions, measurable performance standards, unambiguous payment terms, and well-crafted risk allocation provisions in the contract protect both parties and reduce the likelihood of disputes. Contract execution includes the approval workflow, signature collection, and formal activation that makes the contract legally binding. Digital signature platforms and contract management systems automate this process, reducing cycle times from weeks to days while creating a complete audit trail. Post-award performance management monitors whether both parties are fulfilling their contractual obligations. Milestone tracking, deliverable acceptance, payment processing, and performance KPI monitoring ensure that contract value is realized and problems are identified early rather than at invoice dispute time. Compliance monitoring ensures both parties adhere to all contract terms, regulatory requirements, and applicable law throughout the contract period. Risk management tracks emerging issues, financial instability of a supplier, regulatory changes affecting contract terms, or performance trends that suggest future default, enabling proactive intervention. Contract in management, renewal, renegotiation, or termination, is where organizations most commonly lose value. Contracts that auto-renew without review perpetuate unfavorable terms. Missed renewal windows prevent timely renegotiation. Disciplined end-of-contract management captures the opportunity to optimize terms for the next period. These 4 terms define the vocabulary every contract management professional must know. CLM encompasses every stage of the contract journey, from the initial business need identification that triggers a contract, through drafting, negotiation, execution, performance management, and ultimate expiration or renewal. Mature CLM practice uses contract management software to automate workflow, track obligations, and generate renewal alerts, replacing manual tracking with systematic process. The contract repository is the organizational memory of the contract management function. It stores every contract with structured metadata, party names, contract value, start and end dates, key obligations, and performance KPIs. Searchable repositories replace the email chains, shared drives, and filing cabinets that make contracts unfindable and obligations untracked in immature organizations. Obligation management is the operationally critical practice of tracking what each party must do, when, and verifying that they have done it. Missed deliverables, late payments, overdue reports, and unexercised options are all obligation failures. Systematic obligation management prevents these from becoming disputes by catching them early, while there is still time for remediation. Contract renewal management is where significant contract value is consistently won or lost. Organizations without proactive renewal management discover contracts have auto-renewed at unfavorable rates, expired without replacement, or been renegotiated reactively from a weak position. Proactive renewal management begins months before expiration, analyzing performance, benchmarking market rates, and preparing a negotiation strategy before the renewal window opens. Contract management follows a structured life cycle with defined activities at each phase. Effective contract management operates across 5 phases from initiation through renewal. Contract initiation defines the business need, the type of contract required, the parties involved, and the key terms that must be achieved. A contract brief at this stage, documenting the essential requirements before drafting begins, prevents the common problem of contracts that are technically complete but commercially inadequate. Drafting and negotiation is where the contract terms are established. Standard templates reduce drafting time and legal review costs while ensuring consistent risk allocation. Negotiation should focus on the terms that most significantly affect business outcomes: scope, price, payment, performance standards, liability, and termination, rather than attempting to negotiate every clause. Contract execution in a mature CLM system is automated. Approval workflows route the contract to the required authorizers based on contract type and value. Digital signature platforms collect legally binding signatures efficiently. The executed contract is automatically stored in the repository with all metadata populated. Active contract management during the performance period tracks obligation fulfillment, processes payments, manages change requests, and monitors supplier performance against KPIs. Contract managers conduct regular review meetings with counterparties to address issues proactively and maintain the relationship that makes contracts perform at their potential. End-of-contract management begins 6 to 12 months before expiration. Contract managers review performance against contract commitments, benchmark current rates against market alternatives, assess whether the relationship should continue, and develop a renewal or replacement strategy. This proactive approach maximizes negotiating leverage and ensures continuity of supply or service. Every contract moves through a defined life cycle, from business need through execution, performance, and renewal. Contract initiation sets the strategic frame for everything that follows. Organizations that skip proper initiation, jumping straight to drafting without defining key requirements, produce contracts that are legally sound but commercially insufficient. The contract brief is the planning document that ensures the drafting team understands what the contract must achieve. Drafting and negotiation determine the terms that will govern years of the business relationship. Organizations with mature CLM practices maintain standard contract templates for common contract types, reducing drafting time significantly. Negotiation focuses on the commercial and risk terms that materially affect business outcomes, not on word-by-word editing that adds legal cost without commercial benefit. Contract execution is the administrative phase that activates the legal agreement. In modern CLM systems, this phase is largely automated, routing contracts through defined approval workflows based on value and type, collecting digital signatures from all parties, and instantly archiving the executed agreement in the searchable contract repository. Active contract management during the performance period is what separates organizations that extract full contract value from those that execute contracts and then file them. Regular performance reviews, proactive obligation tracking, and disciplined change management prevent the gradual drift from contract terms that undermines value and creates disputes. End-of-contract management is the final opportunity to capture value from the contracting relationship. Whether renewing on improved terms, replacing a poorly performing supplier, or terminating an unprofitable arrangement, this phase requires the strategic assessment and negotiation preparation that distinguishes mature contract management from reactive administration. Disciplined contract management protects organizations and ensures full realization of contract value. Organizations with mature CLM practices reduce risk, improve performance, and maximize the value of their contracts. Most contract disputes arise from ambiguous terms, unclear scope, or obligations that were not monitored. Mature contract management prevents disputes by ensuring contract terms are clear before execution and obligations are tracked throughout the performance period. When disputes do arise, the contract repository provides the complete record needed for resolution. Organizations consistently lose value through contract underperformance, deliverables that are late, services below the contracted standard, and payment terms not enforced. Active contract management catches these issues early, when they are still correctable, rather than at the end of the contract period when remediation options are limited. Auto-renewing contracts at unfavorable rates and missing renewal windows are among the most common and most avoidable sources of value leakage. CLM systems with automated renewal alerts and proactive review processes prevent these costly oversights and ensure every renewal is approached as a new negotiation opportunity. Regulatory compliance, internal audit requirements, and dispute resolution all depend on the ability to produce complete, accurate contract records. Organizations with mature CLM maintain the repository and audit trail that make compliance responses and dispute evidence assembly efficient rather than heroic. A well-maintained contract repository provides aggregate data across the contract portfolio, contract values, performance trends, supplier dependency risks, expiration concentrations, and spend by category. This portfolio-level visibility enables strategic sourcing decisions and contract management prioritization that would be impossible without systematic data. The contrast between ad hoc and disciplined contract management reveals the full scope of the value at stake. Ad hoc contract management stores contracts in email inboxes and shared drives. Key dates and obligations are tracked in personal spreadsheets, if at all. Renewals are discovered when the counterparty sends a renewal notice or when the auto-renewal triggers. Disputes arise from terms no one can quickly locate. Compliance evidence requires laborious manual assembly. Managed CLM stores all contracts in a searchable repository with complete metadata and obligation tracking. Renewal alerts trigger proactive review processes months in advance. Performance KPIs are tracked against contract commitments. Compliance evidence is available on demand. The contract portfolio is a managed strategic asset rather than an administrative burden. Let us close with the 4 most important ideas from this overview of contract management. Ready to implement contract management step by step? The full Udemy course covers the complete contract lifecycle: drafting, negotiation, execution, performance management, and renewal, with practical templates and case studies. Click the link below to enroll. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe for more explainer videos. See you in the next one.